Nice to see you. I've
Hey,
heard that you have something awesome to show us today. Like the moment I've seen this dashboard, I realized I have to like have a call with you and ask you to show me how it looks and how
hey,
it
Rado,
works.
and likewise, nice to see you. It's been a long time, and yes, definitely we can jump right into it, and I can walk you through that because that's been something that we and the team have been working on in the past few weeks or actually months. So without further ado, let me just share the screen, and here we go. So starting from the beginning, we have
So
the creative command center. That's the name of the dashboard or of the file that we have created for one of our clients. And when starting from the beginning, we actually wanted to have all our creative actions in one place that we are currently working on with the customer. And the main idea behind that is that we want to uh, change the approach to quarterly planning. And once we will have everything in place, this will come in handy. So basically, in the first tab, we have the creative pipeline, which will refer to the content or the promotion name of the given client or of the given product. And here either on our end or whether the client works with the third-party creative agency that is responsible for producing the assets. We will have all the assets and all the contents in one place, so we will know exactly what content to expect, what campaigns we should plan for, and what is the current status of those creatives. And as you can see here, we have the content promotion name, then we have a brief link because we are responsible for producing the briefs for the third-party agency. Then we have a short description and notes, which for now is empty, but this gives like a high-level perspective on what's going on and what are those creatives about. Then we also have the priority, sprint status, asset status, so we know whether it's published, coming, or whether it's under review, in the production, or is it just planning. Then we have the estimated time of arrival and the owner, on which side the current production is. And here as the last part, we have all the channels that we are currently working on with the client. And here we can basically tick what kind of creative assets do we need. Either that's the video, static, GIF, or HTML5 in the DV360. So that is the tab number one. That's mainly for the project managers and the creative strategists, but also for the channel and area managers to actually know what to expect in the forthcoming days.
if you have influencer marketing activities or some UGC creators, lined up, do you also insert these assets in here in the pipeline?
So we haven't done that yet because the UGC creation wasn't on our end and with that client that we work with. But actually today I was working on the creative briefs for the UGC production, and we could actually insert that here because that's going to be connected with the specific product that is launching very soon. So we could actually add additional brief links here and then share that with either the creative agency that's responsible for the UGC production or with the creator, with the content creator. We can definitely have different approaches to that file, and we can adjust it to the needs that we currently have on the project.
One cool idea that I heard or listened to on one of the podcasts was that some guys working for some other brand, some other agency designed that kind of file. The way that they gamified different creative production companies, agencies, and creators, and basically they figured that the more creators they have, the more, let's say, creative angles they have. They are not like closed up in an echo chamber with just one brand line, one vision for what kind of assets they should produce, and that gave them a lot of flexibility and also gamification of that motivated everyone to produce the best assets possible. So I think that
Yeah, that's
this
actually, yeah,
could turn into something like that potentially in the future for
potentially
some
yes,
other
and
clients.
I think because as for now we are all in our companies we love to work with sheets, but like I think this is definitely material that is worth changing into an app, let's say, or whatever. Like we could basically have a special platform which would incorporate all of those tabs in maybe more visually pleasant way.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's definitely something that we could consider going forward.
So what are the other tabs of that
Okay,
dashboard?
so the next tab will be the seasonality map, and we here you can see the seasonality, how this is seasonality was from the beginning of the 2024. And we have that separated for a variety of different product categories that our client has. So basically, that is the data, the sales data from the Shopify, and you can see here exactly what is the coverage of given category. So we have here like boot, cloaks, shoe, slipper, and you see how big those shares between the categories are. And what it enables us to do is basically when we see because the clients sells variety of shoes and the main categories would some of the categories would be like slippers and tongs, which are an open toe, so more like a summer products. And then we also have the shoes, boots, which basically have their best high season during the winter or autumn time. So basically, based off of these charts and of this tab, we can forecast what's gonna be the sales like in the forthcoming days, what creatives we should be focusing on in terms of production, because we know when one of the categories phases out and another phases in, we can basically adjust our creative needs very specifically based on those numbers and on those charts here. So that's very helpful for the creative strategist as well as the area managers and strategists in general to actually know what is lurking for us behind the corner.
That's awesome. So basically, it's I've heard this term. That uh, what the people responsible for the ad creative pipelines miss quite often is the merchandising part. So by merchandising we mean what kind of products the company sells in what quantities, what products, what product categories have the biggest margin, and so on, and also what is the demand seasonality in, because it differs from category to category. So I can see that you already have that incorporated in the dashboard. So that's pretty innovative in my opinion, and that's something that is missing in a lot of tools out there.
Yes, definitely, because like when you don't know what is the seasonality and what margins are for given products, you're actually like just looking blindly and kind of like guessing what should you push in terms of creative. But here you have it like on black and white. Basically, you know exactly which categories are phasing in, which are phasing out. What is the demand, the given category demand at a given point of time, and you have that split for basically, I think it's a weekly split here. Uh, so yeah, so you see exactly what you should be focusing on in the forthcoming days. So let's say we are right now at the verge of the summer and autumn, so we know that the all the thongs and slides and slippers, all of those categories will be phasing out slowly, and the shoes and boots basically will be coming in. So we will want to focus on creating and delivering assets for those categories that will be rising in this closest future.
That's awesome, because that allows to close the loop in terms of like the information flow between the ad creative assets producers and the strategist, and also the basically the finance people in the team, and that all connects in this one dashboard. That's awesome.
Yes, definitely. I think this is a very good, this dashboard can be a very good indicator for basically different departments of the company, because they see here exactly what are their needs, what products can we push for, but also if the company manages the production it's by themselves, they know where to actually how to manipulate the production and what to focus on in a given time period. So that helps with planning like company's actions on multiple departments.
Inventory planning.
Yeah.
Awesome. Let's move on. Is there anything else that we could
Yes.
see on this tab?
Yes, in this step, I think in this step we can move on to the next step. So the next step is a naming builder, and for us, and for I believe that for most of agencies that are on the market, the naming convention is actually something that we should be very mindful of and aware of, because that enables us to actually have a very sophisticated dashboards and once you have the naming convention in place, you are able to manipulate the data and gather the data in one place and then manipulate it in a way that you can compare a variety of channels across the board that you are currently serving ads on. So for us it was very important to actually have the naming convention in place from the maybe not from the very beginning, but like at the early stage of our cooperation with the client. So that's something that we are doing on all of our clients basically, because that naming convention, this is the naming convention of the assets, but that naming convention later translates to the naming convention that we have applied on the channels themselves. So we are also using the supermetrics. I know you rather are aware, like you know what this tool is. So we basically have the API connection with the platforms, and we pull the data in to actually compare how different campaigns on different platforms perform. And then and we actually, so maybe let me jump a little bit further right now, because what we are using this for is we actually created the creative performance dashboard for all the channels that we are serving ads on. I have hidden a couple of columns here. Basically, at the beginning, here in the column number A, we have the image embedded that shows you exactly how the creative looks like and which creatives are we talking about. So that gives you the visual to you, to the client, to the creative strategist, so you know exactly what we are talking about. And then here we have basically all the metrics that we are looking for in terms of the performance. So what we are using this dashboard for is to compare how given creative performs, but we can also, what we are currently working on is, because we have different tabs here, you can see Meta Ads, TikTok, Pinterest, DV360, then we also have the Google, but I think Google is already hidden because we've been only serving PMAX, and as most of the marketers know, the PMAX doesn't give you the flexibility to actually look at one asset, because it blends different fragments of
Assets.
an asset, yeah,
Yeah.
different asset types into one. So basically, when we have an image, then we have a logo, copy, etc., and Google basically its algorithms create an asset that is served to the end user. So that wouldn't be very reliable to look at. But if you have the demand gen, we could create dashboards like this for the demand gen, because then we would have just one asset for, let's say, that we are looking at. So here we have variety of assets, and we either video, statics, GIFs, or on the DV360 we also have HTML5. But as you can see, we see what spent was served to a given asset, what was the revenue from that asset, what were the impressions. You can see ROAS here. So those are very basic data. But when we go back to Meta, we have how we call it, the vanity metrics. So basically the clicks, impressions, or CTR. But what we as the marketers very often look at is basically the purchases, as the end goal of our company is to basically sell a service or a product. So here you can also sort them by the website purchases. And so here we can see that we have some of the assets that generated for almost 5,000 sales for our customer. So we have spent 55,000 for that asset, but it generated us, I think I don't have that data here. No, it did. So we have $360,000 generated just by that asset itself. So yeah, that gives us a deep dive into what we can actually expect from a given asset, and what performance it has. And for me as a creative strategist, it also enables me to look at the asset, like get the clear visual of it, and then maybe work on iterations of that asset, because if that performs well, maybe we can make it perform even better just by cranking the uh, like messaging on that asset, or maybe we can find a similar picture and use the same messaging that we have on a given asset. So that enables the strategists to actually to work more freely, but based on the data that you can see at hand.
So you can create new briefs to produce
Exactly.
similar assets and to compare the results. That makes sense.
Exactly.
What about the naming convention? Can you like filter out only like retargeting / prospecting campaigns or
Yes. So actually, when you look at the, let me just take off this. When you look at the naming convention, we have different stages of the naming. So we have different formats. So those stand for static video, carousels, DPAs, whitelisting, GIFs, etc. Then we have a funnel stage, which is prospecting, full funnel, or retargeting. We have different strategic angles because we have different personas that we are selling for, and some of the categories or the products that our customer sells are more targeted towards given industry, let's say. So like it's like injured athletes, healthcare, but we also have plantar, travel, retail, wellness. So basically we can incorporate the strategic angle, but very often we all use the multiple strategic angles because one product can be fit for all or fit for few. Then we have the category which is open and closed toe, but also just because open and closed toe are like the main subcategories. But then you have like a very granular subcategories which are like the slides, tongs, shoes, slippers, clogs, etc. Then we have pulled from the Shopify all the products list that our current client has. Then we have the gender, which is basically whether the asset is targeted at only one of the genders. And then we have the type of product, which might be a bit of misleading because this is not referring to the type of product as a product is, but more SSN stands for the seasonal and EFG for evergreen. So the evergreen assets are the ones that are running are all year long, or at least for like extended time. And the seasonal, so those are very often promotional assets. So we had like Memorial Day recently, and we have created briefs and assets for that. And those assets only run from, let's say, 10th to 20th day of the month. So those would be the seasonal. And then we also have the other columns, which basically enables you to add like additional node. So here you can see the resolution basically of an asset. So that is something just to keep a track of, because for different channels you need different resolutions, and sometimes on the same channel you have like 3 or 4 or 5 different resolutions. So that just helps us to categorize everything.
awesome? As a strategist, I also have a question regarding how do you reconcile basically the business needs of like customer acquisition cost and returning customers cost and so on with the data coming in from different platforms, which usually is the case that attribution shows really positive, return on ad spend in Meta or in Pinterest, especially. Like, what's the process here?
So like this file is not definitely for that. That's the file mainly for the creative needs, let's say. But we have different dashboards and different tools that we are using to actually look directly what is the impact of given platform regarding the, let's say, as you mentioned, customer acquisition cost, or even like the what is the overlap between the platforms. So we are using at this client we are using the triple whale, as well as we have a different dashboard, which is our like pacing tracker forecasting dashboard, where we actually see what is our cost of acquiring a new customer, what is our CAC at a given day, based off of all the costs that we have had that given day on all the platforms versus the revenue that we have achieved. So yeah, we are using multiple tools basically to come up with the metrics that are needed for a customer. But also we are very often like when we are discussing with the customers, all the customers have different needs and different approaches to their main KPIs. So for one client, the ROAS can be like they are fine with ROAS at ROAS 3, and then CAC at the level of, let's say, $100. But then the other client can have ROAS of 4 or of 3, and then CAC can be 50, because that also depends on the cost of the product basically.
Absolutely. That all makes sense. Thank you for the walkthrough. That's an awesome dashboard, awesome process, and congrats on the work. And thanks a lot, Adrian.
Thank you, Rado. It was a pleasure to talking to you.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you. Take care.